Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing? Hey, Roman. Nano, welcome to the room. Jam, Raj, Moran, how you guys doing? Timo, whole crew's here. Hey, Troy. What's up, Alexander? Good morning and welcome to the room. It's good to have you all with us. Hey, Colin. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Everyone joining us on YouTube. Good to see you all. As we finish out another week of this crazy market, welcome to the Trading Syndicate. I'm JJ. Thank you all for being with me. As we close out the week, let's take a look and see what kind of opportunities exist for us here. Hey, Travis, Kevin, how you guys doing? Having a good summer? I have to keep reminding myself it's August and, you know, supposed to be taking it easy, enjoying the summer. Uh, all right, let's get to it. Time to get to work. I've stalled long enough. Okay. Well, interestingly enough, this market, it's trading like a penny stock, and what's going on is the the speculators are doing really well, and price keeps increasing. Check out these lows. Even after big liquidations, you'll note that the lows are higher, right? Yesterday, we came darn close to getting back up over 64.28. But they ran out of buying here in the 64.10s and they just dumped into it. Yesterday was a perfect example of a gap and trap. I covered that in this morning's video, in our Globex early morning video. And basically what they did was they took the market up here in the overnight and they just sold into it. However, they stopped before they took out the previous day's low. So what that does is that holds trend. The trend is still, if you draw a trend line at the bottom of these candles, you'll see that the bid is moving up every day. Now, it all started when we gapped down 50 points and then closed that gap the very next day. So today it looks like we're going to have an inside day. Unless something crazy happens, I'm looking for trading between yesterday's high and yesterday's low. Currently, overnight inventory is probably about 90% long, right? Which means that most of the trading is above yesterday's close except for this little part right here, right? Probably 80-90% long. It is adjusting lower as we speak, and we'll look to see if it can take out the close in the overnight low and get into the guts of yesterday's volume. So that's why I'm a little short biased off the open. I'm not going to lie, right? So if you are shorting this thing, your upper stop is 83, your lower target is 77.5. That's your first lower target. Second lower target is this 75.5 level. Now I believe if we take out these lower levels here and take out the close of yesterday, we'll come down and test the overnight low. In markets that go back and forth, it is not unusual to test the highs and the lows to see whether the sellers stop selling here and whether they initiate there. Right? So let's bring over our handy dandy 1 minute chart. So now we use market profile to look at the city, sort of a bird's eye view. You know where the stops are. And then you go into the neighborhood that we're in currently so we can navigate that neighborhood. So for example, if I'm thinking short, right, I'm watching this 78 level, right? We start crawling above it. I'm going to start looking at the tops of these candles. I know the sellers initiated at 83 and that pushed price down to 78. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go mark where the sellers were so I know when we get up to these levels whether they'll be there again. You see how you can tell there's a seller here at 78. Make this big. If it's really slow and choppy, if you're a new trader, or if you're a trader that's not making any money, I would say sit and watch this and watch how it trades. So the tops of the candles are where the sellers initiate. So if you're going long, say you're thinking, okay, this is a look below and fail of 78, and I'm buying, maybe I buy 79, 78 and a quarter, and 3/4 half, and I'll use 77 half as my stop, right? Well, say I'm going long here. What I want to do is I want to make sure that I sell into the strength before 79.5, or at least put an offer out to see whether or not anybody's willing to buy what I want. Because if people don't want to buy what I want, what does that tell me, folks? Right? If I've got an order at 79 and nobody's taking it, right? If nobody's taking 79, oh, see, they just started taking the 79 quarters, right? Put your offers out. Let the market tell you whether your trade is working. Because if you have sell orders in, right, and the market doesn't execute those sell orders, well, obviously somebody's undercutting the price that you're selling at. See? This way you can manage your expectations when you're in a trade. Most people don't know how to manage their expectations in a trade. They have a target, like, okay, I'm long 78, 79, and I'm looking for 6,400. Well, is that reasonable, given that there's sellers all over the place? You know what I mean? Simple, practical trading. Right? What's the business reason for going long? The sell orders under 78 are completed. So you're buying over 78, your stop is just underneath it. Right? So so I got taken at 79.25 because I bought 78.75, and I'm offered at 79.75 and 80. And let's see if I got sold one at 79.75. Sold it. No, they're not taking me at 80. Right at 80. There's the seller. Hello, there you are. We know you're there. right? This way you can manage your trade, manage your expectations. This way you're not caught, right? Yeah. Lear, I know it's not the greatest trade in the world. What I'm doing is I'm trying to show the technique, right, before the open. So the business reason for the trade is that the sell orders under 78 are completed. You buy 78, half 79, looking to sell up here as the market goes up. But if your sell orders don't get executed, it means nobody wants to buy what you've got for sale. That gives you market intelligence. That's actionable, not some pie in the sky indicator, right? Yeah, there you go, Travis, right? This way you get a feel for the market, right? That trade wasn't to make money, it was to test to see whether there was buying and bids coming in on the look below and fail of 78. That trade can be used for a couple of things. I was looking to short under 78, thinking that we would break lower. But we looked below 78 and come right back up, right? So these are things that you should be aware of. This is the sort of thing that we teach in our room at the Trading Syndicate. Everything we teach you is practical. You know, this morning, Steve posted uh, this thing about false breakouts. And then I went and I actually wrote in the mechanical reason for the false breakout. Why the false breakout happens. What's the order flow that creates that? It really helps you if you can understand the business, you know? Otherwise, it just kind of seems like you're throwing darts at a board. This way, if you understand the business, you're not, of course, are you going to get stopped out? Yeah, that's business. Getting stopped out is a business expense. This way, you can keep your expenses down, maximize your profits, learn to trade at the right time, learn to sit back and let everybody else get chopped up. Let's see. So we're going to be opening in range, a little bit above value of yesterday, right? You can see it's pretty cool. You can see the value area high of yesterday is just right where the value area low of tonight is. Oh, cool, Michael. Thanks, Guy. I hope that's helpful. Yeah, we want you to be able to make informed decisions, right? This business is tough enough. Took 4 trades. Nice. Nice. It's kind of creeping its way back up. So my prediction, my prediction for the morning open is chop. Right? It's a Friday in August. I think chop might be the way to go. So let's see. Hopefully it's tradable chop. Sometimes the chop is not tradable, which is frustrating, but better to know what we're dealing with. All inside bars, Lear. Hey, Zeth, how you doing? Good morning. That's good. The move back from the overnight right back to cost basis. That's exactly what it is, Travis, because here's the thing. The overnight allows traders to get rid of inventory, right? It allows them to get rid of inventory before the other sellers show up and compete, right? You know, in these markets, this is something that you really won't hear from a lot of people, but when you do deals and stuff like that, our goal is to always be the only seller. That's where the money is. Because if you're the only seller, you don't have any competition. You know what I mean? No, I did not notice that, Michael. Good looking out. Let's see. So we're kind of creeping higher here. Let's see if we can take out those stops at 63.83. Well, yeah, value is the cost basis, right, Travis? So you can think of value as, okay, I bought 100 oranges and I paid 10 cents for them, right? I put them on sale for 80, 90 cents. And I sold a good amount of oranges. But then I ran out of buyers and I had to put them on sale, and I put them on sale all the way back down to cost basis, right? Value is a fancy way of saying how much did you pay for the stuff, right? So the value area shifts up and down depending on distribution and accumulation. Uh, Michael, I've never actually looked at that, the middle. If it helps you, okay, but it really doesn't. See, there's a lot of data points that you can look at when you're trading. What do you actually need to know to make money, depending on what kind of trading you do? Now, if you're a larger time frame trader, right? If you're trading like for 2-3 hours, that data point might be useful to you. But if you're scalping and you're holding trades to 3 to 5 minutes, then you really don't have to worry about it. I'm not saying it's bad to be aware of it. I'm just saying how much data and how much information do you actually need so you can actually capitalize on it and make money? You understand what I'm saying? When I started retail trading, I looked at everything. I was looking at halfback. I was looking at people were talking about pivot points, everything. I started looking at all these things, but I couldn't figure out how to use them to actually make a buck, right? And nobody actually talked about the execution around it, right? Then I worked my way into this look below and fail business, which is actually dependent on the business, right? The execution is not difficult to explain. The sell orders run out, the market rotates higher. You buy when it rotates back over that 78 level. You put your stop underneath it, and you sell it to the strength as it goes up. Does that? I really like to simplify the execution. The more simple your execution is, here's the thing. The more simple the execution is, the better a chance that you have of it working out. You notice that these people have these very complicated execution strategies, but when they're under the gun, they screw it up. Yes, size traders sell all the way back to cost basis, guy. Takes one to know one. I used to be one. Cost basis is everything. Remember, it's a market, right? It's just like any other store, except here you can't see the product moving. You can see the transactions, right? You can see the transactions. They're represented by the time and sales and the chart. Hey, Sonny, how you doing? So I want executions where I can train myself that I don't have to overthink it. Hey, Diana, how are you? Holy cow. Long time no see. Wow. Good to see you. I'm good. I'm good. Man, it's good to see you. Drop by the room, say hi. Diana has been with me since the beginning. Yes, I know you're up there in the corporate ladder now. That's great. It's good to see you. Have a wonderful weekend. Drop by when you have time. Thanks, D. We've got sellers at 82 and a half. Now this red box represents supply from yesterday. The market went into that red box at night to grab some supply, but came right back out of it. Let's see what happens when we open. Okay, a couple of minutes left here. Let's see what the opening auction brings. Yeah, I know. I was short biased coming in. Then I'm watching a trade since we've been on stream here for the last 25 minutes, and not seeing the sell just yet. One of my rules is to never sell into a lifting offer, right? Unless I'm long, okay? I don't want to short into a market where they're raising price. I want to short into a market where they're lowering price. Now, everyone's trying to short the exact top. So once you get rid of that, I have to short the top, it makes it a lot easier when you're shorting. Because this way you can chill and wait. And when they start putting price on sale, that's when you want to go with the short. And then you got a place to put your stop. Because where they initiated selling, if the market gets back above that level, it means they don't have to sell there. And guess what? Price is going to go up. So there's no point being short. Taking out that 83 stop. Um, I look at blocks. When I look at a bird's eye view, when I'm more detailed, I look at the letters. It's all up to your eye too, right? I mean, if that works for you, nothing wrong with that, right? I guess I've just been used to letters, right? So look for a reaction at 86 and a half. Whatever, kind of suits your eye the best. I do not see a short, my friends, not yet. Let's see until we get up to the overnight high. Now we're going into these single prints. Went looking for supply above 87. A little bit of supply at 87. Levels are working okay, right? 87 and 3/4 to the tick. Now, if we run out of supply, we're going to go up into these single prints. And we'll creep over 87 and 3/4. Nope, there's a seller. Slowly filling the singles, right, Michael? Exactly. Right. Hey, Dexter, how are you? I'd prefer to go long once we get over 88. If we hold 84 and a half, we should rotate back up to 87 and 3/4. So I just bought 85 and got out of it just in time. Man, let's see if I can do that again. Boy, it's choppy. There we go. Look how little follow through there is above 87. So it's not quite time. Just gonna get rid of these. Should try and stay above VWAP. Get back over 84 and a half again. If we can't, I think it's going to rotate lower. There it is. Let's see. Oh, it's faking us out. Oh, look at that choppiness right there. Very difficult to get a sense of direction. Just give it time. Next candle's going to open. If the next candle can't get over 84 and a half, we're going to come down and tickle VWAP around that 81 area. Hi, Renee. How are you? Now, if we're under VWAP and we stay under VWAP, we'll rotate down to 78. This is a very choppy market. Another look below and fail. Pure rotation. Pure rotation. Let's see. Need to get underneath VWAP and underneath 81. Let's get rid of this crap. If we can't, it'll rotate back up on us. Very easy to get rotations wrong. Very easy to get rotations wrong. That's why I kind of always scalp the open. If I'm not really 100% on the ball, I'll scalp the open and let it give me some kind of a sense of direction. Let's see if we can hold 81 and a quarter. On the volume profile to the right, the numbers here? No, these are just contracts. Just contracts. It was. I missed it. You're right, Michael. It was. I missed it. My chart's not based on delta at all. It's volume. How many contracts have traded at that tick? Just direct message me. I'll send you the chart. Not a big deal. Just DM me. I'll send you the chart book. And then you could keep what you want, change what you want. Yeah. Thanks, Dustin, for posting breath. Oh, look at NASDAQ breath, eh? 8-1 positive. I set up Sierra chart in 2012. So it's been a while since I've actually built a chart book. Okay, folks. Looking for 87 3/4. Make your TPO prettier? I don't know how. Hey, at least it's not in black and white. I think this is just the default the way it came. I can't remember. God, it's been 13 years. I told you it was going to be choppy. Oh, choppy, choppy, choppy. Is it default, Moran? Thank you. Oh, gee whiz. Take a step back here and look at these charts. It is very, very slow. Look at the volume. It's not much at all. Definitely, we could have taken this Friday off. We might have a rotation going here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if that works. What's the role of the buyer when the seller has most of the power? Food. The buyer is food, Kunj. The buyers are what feed markets, right? They help you turn your inventory into cash. The role of the buyer is to buy your product and give you cash, right? The buyer is food. Exactly. The buyer gets eaten, the seller eats. Hey, Crypto, how you doing? It's a slow market because it's summer, my friend, and everybody is in crypto. But that's good. We didn't quite get the rotation I was looking for. I did not know that. You can trade equities on crypto exchanges? Well, that's cool because I've got a lot of equities to sell. Rabbit for me. Someone in the UK. Yes, Tesco indeed. There's one a block away from my apartment. Now, we're creeping. If we take the overnight high, it means we ran out of supply. That rhymes. If we take the overnight high, it means we ran out of supply, and we're going to go into the single prints, and we are going to be looking for 97 as a target. Yeah, I can't wait to take companies public on whatever the heck you guys call it. No lawyers, no accountants, no transfer agents. We took the overnight high. Now, I did a write-up on false breakouts. So say you're looking at a breakout of the overnight high. Now they're selling into it, right? Because that's what you're trained to sell into the breakout. You guys buy breakouts. We dump our position into your buying. The breakout is used to create buying, where all the food comes in and we're just sitting there waiting to eat. Right? So that's what they're doing now. They're selling into that breakout. That's why I don't like to buy breakouts. Yeah, smart contracts and middlemen, right? The new middlemen. It's a brave new world. Yeah, you're right, AZS. Nice look above and fail of the overnight high. Let's see if we can get our act together and stay over 87, 88. Yeah, I'm very curious and optimistic about the future with crypto. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, look, if you could take companies public without having to pay those securities lawyers, God, what do they charge now? $3,000 an hour? It'd be amazing. No securities filings. Beautiful stuff. Right? Okay, look below and fail. Oh. Anybody buy 80s, 90s? I'm long 90. Sorry, that's why I was flapping my wasn't talking. I was trading. Sorry. Should have been calling it out. Long 90 on 6 contracts and I'm out. Sold into the pop, right? Look below and fail. Simple trade, folks. I teach it all the time. You look below a level, you come back up, you buy this. Right? My trade execution wasn't that great. I paid high. I should have been buying under 90. And then as soon as it popped, I'm out of the trade, right? There you go, Lear. Nice done. Nicely done. Nice little trade. You know, I'm happy. 2.5, 3 points on 6 contracts. Pays the bills, and you're done. That's really cool that there's no middlemen in crypto. Now let's see if we can get up to 97. Now we're in the middle, this purple zone on the left-hand side, the candles. That's the middle of our breakout zone. It's 4 times cost basis. So we're in the 4 times profit. We were in 2 times. Now we're right in the middle of that 4 times profit zone. And we're creeping higher. Looking for just under 6,400. Oh, that's cool. I don't know. I haven't even thought about an AI indicator. But hey, listen, man, if you can get it to work, that's great. I know it's the future. Traditional indicators I really just don't have any use for. Whatever you're using, right? Is it working with it should because it's cost basis, right? You buy some crap for 50 cents, you sell it for $1. And you make a profit, right? So whatever you're using, an indicator, a moving average, a fib, a dib, a squib, whatever you're using, right? Just have a trading execution plan around it that makes sense, that has common sense, that manages your risk. Because whatever you're using to get in and out of trades and to monitor trades, that is your business plan, right? So just make sure your business plan works. So when you lose money, you're not out of business, right? That's why we use stops. Singles are filled. We ran out of supply. Got up to what, 90, 97 and change? Almost 98. Now the goal, what's what's the agenda, right? You should know what the agenda is, right? The agenda is to take this inventory and try and get rid of it up here, right? If we can't, we'll come back down and the overnight high will be your target. But if it just goes sideways and the candles get smaller, that's what we call distribution. It's always good to lighten up your inventory on Friday. Indeed, indeed. Right? Spoken like a true paper hanger. No news today? Yeah. It's all about the business, right? This is one of the largest businesses in the world. So, if you understand how the business works, it does help. You got an FOMC guy talking? Okay. Nice distribution here. Getting some decent buying in. Next level up is, well, yeah, 6,498 kind of area. Now, once again, you've got to ask yourselves, how many people do you think are short under 84? Probably quite a few. Let's go look at the largest stuff. Apple. Just watching the open. Nice fade on Microsoft. Crazy MSTR. How's Tesla? Tesla 328. Not bad, not bad. My charts are delayed. Oh, I gotta fix that. And NVIDIA 181s. That's pretty much it. Take a look at the rainforest. 223. If every trade on one of those, probably not, OJ. Probably not. They're all trading in the wrong direction anyway. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sorry. It was there. I had to take the shot. The 119 is overnight volume. The 113 is current from the open alley. Well, for me, the gap fill is coming back inside the previous day's range. Doesn't have to be TPO, right? So when the gap is filled, it comes and tags the previous day's high, whether it's TPO or not. I just happen to have TPO. Hope that helps. Guys in the room, you guys are asleep. I'm getting all my questions from YouTube. What's going on? Yeah, that makes it a lot simpler, right? So if you've got yesterday's high is here, and you gap, you come back and tag yesterday's high, gap is filled. You're busy making money? Okay, Jam. Oh, you're on August holiday just like the fund managers? Nice. Why don't you send the private plane to pick me up there, Nano? Jeez. Okay. And as we used to say in the old days, we're creeping. Creeping higher. So now we're going to go into 8 times cost basis and see if we can actually make it stick. This is where I'd be looking for a look above and fail of 6,400. So if the market can't get above 6,400 now, wait for the next candle. Yeah, If the next candle opens under 6,400 and three quarter, then you could take a shot at it. A little bit of a backfill. Right? Your risk isn't that much. It's the top of that A high. So if you're short 6,400, you're just shorting the backfill. Maybe down to 98, 97. Yeah, so short 6,400, cover at 99. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I'm filled. Right? I'm just shorting the backfill. Right? So what you do is you short here, right? You put your stop here, then you put some bids in, and if these bids don't get covered, you just buy it back, right? Take the offer, make a couple of points, right? Now let's see if it goes back above 6,400 and three quarter, or if there's a level there. And that's why I use these balance levels, because now we're at 8 times cost, right? So think about it. You're buying a stereo. Do you really want to pay 8 times what the wholesale price is? Balance is the wholesale price. That's all. Yeah, exactly. It'll never feel real until you actually have the money in your bank account and you use it to pay your light bill. That's when it becomes real. That's why people who try and grow accounts and double the count and stuff like that, they end up blowing their accounts. Learn how to trade for income first before you trade for glory. We're working out this 6,400 level. I'm in agreement of that. Paper profits mean nothing until the money's in the bank. Every Thursday, you should be, if you're consistently profitable, every Thursday you should be putting in wire instructions. For wires. And here's that look above and fail again. Let's see. It takes 64. If it takes the top of those candles, well, then you know, right? There you go. Jeez. It's a lot of effort, right, Michael, that we put in, the stress of it all. You should get paid. You know? You should get paid. Hey, Miami, what's going on? The thing is, crypto, it's really not manipulation. It's just a business. Manipulation is used a lot when people who don't work in the industry talk about markets, right? It's actually just a business, right? It's just a business, unfortunately, where some of the bad apples have gone showing off a lot, and it makes it everybody think it's manipulated. But the market is there to sell product. Just like a bakery is there to sell bread. So long a little bit. At 64.02, selling '04. Yeah, just when you think it's a look above and fail. Yeah. Yeah, I do not believe in growing the account. I believe in taking, well, I've never actually wired, except initial deposit, I've never actually wired money into a brokerage firm. Um, you wire money out of a brokerage firm. That's what they're meant for. You're supposed to deposit stock and wire money out. That's true. But crypto, if you're engaging in this business, you've already accepted the rules of it, right? There's no point in trying to do business in an industry and then whining, right? Not to beat up on you, but there's no sense in whining about it. Either learn the business or go find another business. There's plenty of them, right? You know, day trading is difficult. Swing trading is difficult. The reason is they don't want you doing it. They want you to come and buy 500 shares of stock every month, put it in your IRA or your 401k, and go away, right? I wouldn't put much in there, Michael, at all. You could trade quite a few E-minis with the leverage that they give you now. I'd start with that, Michael. I'd start with that, and I'd start with just trading the micro. Even if you're successful, I mean, and if you're pulling money out of prop firms, you might, you know, give it some time. Good, you know. Yeah, this business is it's not for everyone. It takes up a lot of time learning how to do this. You know, I've never seen anybody who just sat down and started trading and just started making money. You know, I've never seen anyone be able to do that. So it does take time. It does take skill. It takes time to acquire skill. The definitely is to get. What's wrong with getting payouts from firms, Michael, for a year? Yeah. Remember, folks, the inventory is below us. You know, the inventory is all below us. All the short-term inventory is underneath where current price is, right? Overnight inventory was long. We did not get a significant correction at all to overnight inventory. Have a great weekend, AZS. And folks in the coaching class, no price action lab today. I'm a little jammed up. should put that in the announcements. Pure straight up. We've got a stop at 13 and a stop at 14 and a half. So remember that we had that liquidation, right? We put an all-time high, we had a liquidation, and did a heck of a flush. Now all the short-term inventory is really underneath 63.88. Right? This is all the short-term inventory. So the goal is to take that and sell it up here. See if we can take out the high of yesterday. No, it's not choppy as I thought. Hey, Howard, where's VWAP? VWAP's kind of, it's taking a nap. It's at 89. We're trading significantly above it. So when markets get into a trend like this, Howard, VWAP's pretty useless. You're not going to be looking, you're not going to be, you're just watching the offer, right? And as the offer was lifting and lifting and lifting, right? I was looking for a look below and fail here, right? And remember I hit that for a point, and then it told me, oh, there's no more selling. So look for longs above 6,400, right? Oh, okay. Looking for 10 and a half. Eh, 10 and a quarter. It was a tick away. I do not see a reason to short this at all right now, right? If you're looking for a short, you want to wait till 13, 14 and a half. See how it reacts. Let the sellers show you that there's a short to be had. Would you get a bear as a pet? Well, it's a strange question, Michael. Oh, man. Well, when I lived in West Vancouver, there were a family of bears in my backyard. I got along pretty well with them. Uh, so we hit 10 and a half. Okay, so the levels are working. That's good. Right? Just remember if you're shorting the backfill, like, say you're inclined to short this, and the market can't get under the next level, then you know that there's no supply. All right. So if you're short, look for bids at 7, 6.5. You should be filled at 7. You should have gotten some at 6.5. See this that the reason why I started talking, I was like, remember I said that I don't see a reason to short, and then I do see a reason now, right? I see the sellers stepping in at 10.5. So it's okay to short a backfill, but now where are you going to cover, right? You got to kind of look at areas like this, and then down here. So if you shorted the nines, high eights, you're looking for a break of 6, and then you'd be looking for the fours, and then down here at 2, where you'd front run 6,400. Right? I wasn't on top of this as much as I should have been. Right? I got the Friday afternoon lack of discipline. I should have seen that and called it out earlier. Yeah, can't catch them all. Hey, nice trade, Diana. Trading in a business meeting, that's good. That's hilarious. You're back to trading again? That's good. Yeah, spend some time with us. That's good. It's good to have you back. Hey, Green, you're welcome. I'm glad the room's been helpful for you. You know what he joined, he typed in the thing, "Hey JJ, how much does it cost to talk to you?" I said, "Nothing. You want to do a phone call?" Popped on the phone, you know. And that goes for anybody who joins the room. If you're struggling or you're having trouble, just let me know. We'll just hop on a phone call, right? So whenever you're ready. And we're coming down to that A high. Let's see if we catch a bid. Any questions, folks? Do I drive a Lambo? No, I do not. Let's see if this is a look below and fail of 4,000, 6,400. Nothing against Lamborghinis, but I'm just a visitor in the UK right now, so no reason to own a car. in Liverpool, so I walk everywhere. Oh, hey, guy. What I saw, and actually I thought it was just going to be a tiny short, but I saw sellers step in right there and start to compete. So had I been on the ball, I would have been shorting 8, 7 against 10, looking for lower. But we were a little bit distracted. So now, if you're looking for longs, if we hold 6,400, it'll rotate back up. There will be inventory. There'll be inventory at 6,406, 7.5, right? Because we trapped all these people long, right? All of these people are long. They're selling out. If we can hold the 6,400s, we'll start rotating higher. So if you buy 6,402, see if they take it out at 4. I sold it at 3 3/4. If you're holding it, if you're long here on the look below and fail, you're long, your stop is the bottom of that candle. You know there's going to be a seller here, a seller here, a seller here, and a seller here. The longs have sold out, guy. Here's the business reason behind the trade. Okay? The look below and fail is based on a very simple prospect. The market sells off under 6,400. Buyers are located, and the sellers raise price because they don't have to sell under that level. Therefore, you go long and you put your stop there, right? Because the trapped longs have sold into wholesale hands, now to be taken and resold into the retail flow for profit. How come they marked up the price today instead of correcting overnight inventory? Because the buyers were there, Joe. So if you're selling your car and 30 people line up to buy the car and there's a bidding war, you're going to increase the price of the car, right? That's all it is. Hey, DeMac, thank you. Happy Friday. It's great. I'm glad the room's working for you, right? So the simple answer to that question is, how come they marked up the price? Because they can. Buyers are there. So you got a lot of buyers coming in. Why would you put it on sale? A fancy way of saying that is because of the order flow, right? The order flow was there to support the agenda of raising price, right? It's so simple. That's why we like to talk about it that way, because it just keeps people on track. Right? And that's why we want you to think like a seller, right? But if you think like a seller, then you're like, oh, look, there's all these other sellers and I'm running out of buyers. I got to get rid of this inventory, right? Pretend you're selling bananas. I got to get rid of this stuff before it goes bad. I got to mark down the price. Think like a seller, not a short seller, a seller of size. Seller who has to compete with other sellers. Alrighty. OJ, I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. Why wouldn't the buyers not buy and force the sellers to drop price? Well, there's too many buyers, man. It's just supply and demand. If you control the supply, which the large traders do, and you see a bunch of demand, you raise price. And who cares what the buyers want, right? If there's a ton of buyers and they're all competing to get product, sellers are in control. Raise price. Pretend you were short 5,000 contracts at 63.79, 63.88. Imagine your short size. You're not forcing anybody to do nothing. You're at the mercy of the suppliers. Little rotation here, folks. Good questions, guys. Yeah, just a little distribution here. So right now, you can tell there are buyers here because they stop selling when we get to 64.02. They start selling at 64.04 and a quarter. So the market is boxed in. There's not a lot of order flow, not a lot of customers coming in. So they'll just go back and forth now like that, trying to sell two for everyone that they have to buy. And that is how you make a market. See if those two bids are still there. Sometimes there's so much buying that comes in on an open. And because of electronic trading, it's kind of slow and steady. So it's not the same kind of buying that you see in small cap stocks, that kind of violent buying, right? So it's nice and slow and steady, and it just comes in. And the market just takes so long before it even corrects inventory. Right now, it's not correcting inventory at all. You could get a sell-off later on in the day, right? That's been known to happen. But this is a good spot to retail it out, right? Because your inventory, this is where market profile helps identify where the inventory is priced really quickly. Look at the overnight inventory. It's all priced here. You're selling it here for profit. What did I say before we started this session? We're going to take this and sell it up here for profit, right? I love trading both sides, right? So this is where the inventory is priced. Now we're going to try and sell it up here for as long as we can, right? We're going to try and retail it out here. And if enough people are short, you'll see the market will get like a P formation, right? So, which will look like the letter P. And it might come down to the overnight high because everyone's trapped short under the overnight high. So if this area builds itself out, might just kind of go sideways here for the morning. If we take out yesterday's high, be very careful on the short side. And that is it for me for this morning. Thank you, folks, for being with us on this Friday and being with us all week at the Trading Syndicate. Exactly, Joe. When the Globex high got ran, trap shorts had to start buying back. Exactly. Thanks, Dado. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you on Monday. Go out and enjoy the sun. Thank you so much. We'll be back Monday at 7:30 UK time for our first session. Thank you, everyone. Exactly, InvestTech. Exactly. Exactly. There's nothing like knowing what's going on in a business that you're trying to make money in, right, InvestTech? Right? Just simple common sense stuff. And with that, grateful to you all for watching. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, drop by the Trading Syndicate or DM me. I'm always available, and this fall I'll be doing a new coaching class. So anyone who's interested in lifetime mentoring, give me a message. I'm vwaptrader1 on gmail.com. Reach out. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Be safe out there.